One of the first things people learn when they're pregnant is what they can't eat and drink. Because when you're pregnant, everything that goes into your mouth gets shared with your growing baby. Even though some types of foods and even some types of food poisoning may not hurt you, they may harm your little one. It can be a real bummer if you're a big sushi, coffee, or rare steak fan. To avoid food poisoning, be careful not to eat any food left out of the refrigerator for more than 2 hours, or more than 1 hour in hot weather. Be sure to limit caffeine to 200 milligrams a day, 1 12-ounce cup of coffee. And, as you probably know, forget alcohol while your baby is growing inside you. Certain foods should only be consumed rarely, while others should be avoided completely. To stay safe, also avoid these foods during your pregnancy. But before we continue, please subscribe on the channel, put a like to the video and write a comment. Number 1. High mercury fish. Seafood can be a great source of protein, and the omega-3 fatty acids in many fish can promote your baby's brain and eye development. However, some fish and shellfish contain potentially dangerous levels of mercury. In higher amounts, it can be toxic to your nervous system, immune system, and kidneys. It may also cause serious developmental problems in children, with adverse effects even in lower amounts. Since it's found in polluted seas, large marine fish can accumulate high amounts of mercury. Therefore, it's best to avoid high mercury fish while pregnant and breastfeeding. During pregnancy, the Food and Drug Administration, FDA, encourages you to avoid big-eye tuna, king mackerel, marlin, orange roughy, swordfish, shark, tailfish. Number 2. Undercooked or raw fish. This one will be tough for you sushi fans, but it's an important one. Raw fish, especially shellfish, can cause several infections. These can be viral, bacterial, or parasitic infections, such as norovirus, Vibrio, Salmonella, and Listeria. Some of these infections may only affect you, causing dehydration and weakness. Other infections may be passed on to your baby with serious, or even fatal, consequences. Number 3. Undercooked, raw, and processed meat. Some of the same issues with raw fish affect undercooked meat, too. Eating undercooked or raw meat increases your risk of infection from several bacteria or parasites, including Toxoplasma, E. coli, Listeria, and Salmonella. Bacteria may threaten the health of your little one, possibly leading to stillbirth or severe neurological illnesses, including intellectual disability, blindness, and epilepsy. To prevent foodborne illness, fully cook all meats and poultry before eating. Use a meat thermometer to make sure. Cook hot dogs and luncheon meats until they're steaming hot, or avoid them completely. They can be sources of a rare but potentially serious foodborne illness known as a Listeria infection. Avoid refrigerated plates and meat spreads. Canned and shelf-stable versions, however, are okay. Number 4. Raw eggs. Raw eggs can be contaminated with the Salmonella bacteria. Symptoms of Salmonella infections include fever, nausea, vomiting, stomach cramps, and diarrhea. However, in rare cases, the infection may cause cramps in the uterus, leading to premature birth or stillbirth. Most commercial products that contain raw eggs are made with pasteurized eggs and are safe to consume. However, you should always read the label to make sure. To be on the safe side, make sure to always cook eggs thoroughly or use pasteurized eggs. Save those super runny yolks and homemade mayo until after baby makes their debut. Number 5. Avoid unpasteurized foods. Many low-fat dairy products, such as skim milk, mozzarella cheese, and cottage cheese, can be a healthy part of your diet. Anything containing unpasteurized milk, however, is a no-no. These products could lead to foodborne illness. Avoid soft cheeses, such as brie, feta, and blue cheese, unless they are clearly labeled as being pasteurized or made with pasteurized milk. Also, avoid drinking unpasteurized juice. Number 6. Avoid excess caffeine. You may be one of the millions of folks who love their daily cups of coffee, tea, soft drinks, or cocoa. You're definitely not alone when it comes to our love of caffeine. Pregnant women are generally advised to limit their caffeine intake to less than 200 milligrams, mg, per day, according to the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. Caffeine is absorbed very quickly and passes easily into the placenta. Because babies and their placentas don't have the main enzyme needed to metabolize caffeine, high levels can build up. High caffeine intake during pregnancy has been shown to restrict fetal growth and increase the risk of low birth weight at delivery. Number 7. Avoid alcohol. It's advised to completely avoid drinking alcohol when pregnant, as it increases the risk of miscarriage and stillbirth. Even a small amount can negatively impact your baby's brain development. Drinking alcohol may also result in fetal alcohol syndrome, which can cause facial deformities and intellectual disability. Number 8. Avoid herbal tea. There's little data on the effects of specific herbs on developing babies. As a result, avoid drinking herbal tea unless your healthcare provider says it's okay. Even the types of herbal tea marketed specifically for pregnancy to pregnant women. Number 9. Avoid unwashed fruits and vegetables. The surface of unwashed or unpeeled fruits and vegetables may be contaminated with several bacteria and parasites. Avoid raw sprouts of any kind, including alfalfa, clover, radish, and mung bean. While you're pregnant, it's very important to minimize the risk of infection by thoroughly washing with water, peeling, or cooking fruits and vegetables. Keep it up as a good habit after baby arrives. 2. Number 10. Processed junk foods. There's no better time than pregnancy to start eating nutrient-dense foods to help both you and your growing little one. You'll need increased amounts of many essential nutrients, including protein, folate, choline, and iron. It's also a myth that you're eating for two. You can eat as you normally do during the first semester, then increase trusted source by about 350 calories per day in your second trimester, and about 450 calories per day in your third trimester. An optimal pregnancy eating plan should mainly consist of whole foods, with plenty of nutrients to fulfill yours and baby's needs. Processed junk food is generally low in nutrients and high in calories, sugar, and added fats.